Good morning, Bumblebee. So for today's lesson, we're going to start by looking at amazing arrays. And we're going to link the amazing arrays to our multiplication. And we're going to have a look at what it means by an array, first of all, and then we're going to look at how we can use arrays to find our multiplications. So first of all, what is an array? When pictures or objects are put into columns and rows, this is called an array. And they can help us to count objects much more quickly, because we can count in steps of 2, 5 and 10 or different numbers as well. So here we have got an array. You can see the array here is lots of different planets. So we have got planets that are in groups of 3 because there are 3 planets here. If I get my red pen, we can group these into groups of 3. So let's do that really quickly and put these planets into groups of 3, because then we can use our 3 times table to count them really quickly and work out the answer. Now, although our calculation tells us there it's the answer, we can have a look at this as well. So we've got groups of 3. There are 3 planets in each group, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 3. So we're going to count in threes and work out the answer. Are we ready? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. And that's the answer. And if we counted those planets individually, there would be 15 planets on our array. So let's have a look at this one. Now, our stars, there looks to be lots of stars on the board here, but actually, if we can count them in groups of 5, it won't take us very long to count them because they have been put into groups of 5. So if I just change my pen colour, we have got one group of 5 here. We have got one group of 5 here. We have another group of 5 here. We've a group of 5 here. And then finally, our last group of 5 is here. Okay, so we have 5 groups with 5 stars in them. So we can count in our 5 times table to be able to work this out. So let's hold up our hand again. We've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So the number that should go underneath that question mark there is 25. Let's see if we have got the right answer. Yeah, well done everyone. We've got the correct answer. We have 25. Absolutely brilliant. So let's move on to this one. Now there are tons of rockets there, and it would take me probably quite a long time in our lesson if I was to sit there and count them all individually. But you can see that they are in groups. That's why arrays are so good, because they are in groups. So let's have a look at these groups. It tells us at the top here, we don't need to count every rocket because they are in groups of 10. So we have one group of 10 here. We have one group of 10 here. We have one group of 10 there with a little bit of a wiggle, and we have one group of 10 here. So I can count in tens, and I can tell from here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 10. So this time I'm going to count in tens until I've got rid of all my fingers. Are we ready? 10, 20, 30, 40. So the answer that should be under my question mark here for 4 times 10 equals 40. Excellent, well done everybody. Brilliant maths. So our array this time has turned itself upside down, and it's actually the wrong way round, but we can still use it in this way. And this way we have got groups of 2. So here we have got, let's pop green on this time, we've got a group of 2. Here's a group of 2. There is a group of 2. That's a group of 2. Another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. So let's count our groups of 2. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to count my 8 fingers this time, and I'm going to count in twos. Are we ready? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So the number that should be underneath my question mark should be 16, and I can double check that by counting my planets here. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and my answer is 16. Well done everybody. Absolutely brilliant maths. Okay, so see if you can answer this question. There are 5 astronauts in the spaceship, and each astronaut has 4 books each. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to write out the calculation. So we have 5 astronauts on our spaceship, and they have all got 4 books each. And that is what my array is showing here. So here are my astronauts. So there's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. And these are their 4 books. So how many books have we got all together on board the spaceship? So let's hold up 4 fingers and we are going to count in steps of 5. Are we ready? 5, 10, 15, 20. So my answer to 5 times 4 is 20. So let's have a look at that. It doesn't matter which way around you make it, the answer is always the same. So let's have a look at this one. We have got, I'm just going to close the video for 1 minute so you can see the questions. I'll bring it back up again in a second. So we have got here 6 times 10 or 10 times 6, and we've talked about it being commutative so we can swap them around. So here we've got 6 times 10 or 10 times 6, and we know that if we count in steps of 10 or count in steps of 6, we get 60. So let's hold up 6 fingers and count in tens. Are we ready? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So my answer is in fact 60, and it's exactly the same for this calculation here. 10 times 6 is 60, and it would take me absolutely ages to count those rockets, so we can count them in groups of 10. So we've got 10, oh, I'm still on my rubber. We've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Well done, everybody. Okay, so looking at this one, we've got 6 times 2 or 2 times 6. It says there are 2 astronauts on board the International Space Station every month. So how many astronauts will have been on the ISS after 6 months? So I'm doing 6 months with 2 astronauts on each one. So for this, I can hold up 6 fingers and I'm going to count in twos. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So there will have been 12 astronauts on board the ISS. Let's just check that one. And yes, we're absolutely right. And there are my 12 astronauts. So this is number 1, this is number 2, month number 3, month number 4, month number 5, and month number 6. Well done, everybody. So for the second part of our lesson, we're going to look at multiplying, and we're going to look at it using lots of different pictures and lots of different images to help us to arrive at those answers. So Sharik and Isabel have 5 apples each. How many apples will they have all together? So we're going to look at here, we've got Sharik and Isabel. So these are our 2 children, and the number 2 here has been put into our calculation. And they have been given 5 apples each, and we can see those apples here between the 2 children. So that is where our 5 comes into the calculation. So we're going to hold up 5 fingers for the 5 apples, and we're going to multiply those 5 apples by 2 children. So the 2 children who have got 5 apples each. So let's count. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So the 2 children together have got 10 apples. Well done, everyone. So this time, oh, Mrs. Wood's favourite, as you will probably all know, there are 2 pieces of pizza on each plate. So how many plates have we got? First of all, let's count them together. We've got this one, which is 1, 2, 3. And that is where the number 3 comes in my calculation. And on each plate, we have got 1 slice of, 2 slices of pizza, which is where our 2 comes into the calculation. So this time I'm going to hold up my 3 fingers for my 3 plates, and I'm going to count in steps of 2 for my 2 pieces of pizza. So we've got 2, 4, 6. So in total, on all 3 plates, I have got 6 pieces of pizza. Well done, buddy. Now we're going to use the cats this time. So we've got 2 walls, which is this number here in our calculation, number 2. and on each wall we have got 6 cats. So we can see here 6 black cats and 6 ginger cats sat on 2 different walls. So we're going to hold up 6 fingers for our 6 cats, and we're going to count in steps of 2 because we have got 2 walls. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So there are 12 cats altogether sitting on the wall. Well done, everybody. So this time we have got 2 trees. Each of those trees we have got 10 birds. So there's 10 birds in this tree, and there is 10 birds in this tree, which is where our 2 numbers come from, 10 and 2. So we're going to do our 10 fingers this time, and we're going to multiply them by 2. We're ready to count. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. There are 20 birds altogether on our screen. Well done, everybody. Okay, right, so we've now got Sally, Mia and David, who look like they've been so busy at home baking 5 cupcakes each. So we're going to work out if 3 children baked 5 cupcakes each, how many cupcakes will we have all together? So let's have a look, shall we? We've got the number 3 in our calculation here because there are 3 children, and we've got the number 5 because they bake 5 cakes each. So let's work out. I'm going to hold up my 3 fingers and I'm going to count in steps of 5. Are we ready? 5, 10, 15. So altogether, those 3 children have baked 15 cupcakes. So we're just going to touch on using arrays. Now, we talked about this earlier on in the lesson. So here we've got an array which shows we have got rows and we've got columns. Excuse me. So in my column here, I have got, I'll just pop my pen on. We have got, going down the page here, we have got 4 counters in my column, and going across the top here, we have got 5 counters in my rows. So here I'm going to pop the number 4, and we're going to do 4 multiplied by 5 and find out the answer. So we can count in groups of 5. So if I hold up my 4 fingers, we've got 5, 10, 15, 20. So the answer to my calculation, is, the pen has decided it doesn't want to draw for me, is 20. Excellent, well done, everybody. And there it is, just showing us that we have got the right answer. So this time we've got huge rows here. So we're going to count how many we've got going down the side for the rows and how many we've got going across for the columns. So let's start counting here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 8 in our rows. We have 8 rows with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 going across in our columns. So straight away you should be able to tell me that we are going to be calculating 8 and we're going to be multiplying 8 by 10. Now it would take me almost all morning to stand and count all of these counters. So instead of doing that, we're going to count in our tens. So I'm going to hold up 8 fingers and we're going to count in steps of 10. Are we ready? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Well done, everybody. And if I press the screen in a second, it will show us the answers underneath, just to double check we've got them right. Oh, now this one is a little bit easier to count because they're in groups of 2, because we have 2 counters going down in our rows, and we'll just double check how many we've got going in our columns. So we've 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 is the number that we're going to be working with today. So we have got 2 and we're going to multiply that by 9. So 2 multiplied by 9 means that we're going to hold up our 9 fingers and we're going to count in twos. Are we ready? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Well done, everybody. Fantastic maths this morning. And there's our correct answers. So let's have a go at this one. So we have got this time how many counters going down, see if you can do it yourself, how many counters going across, see if you can do that yourself, and see if you can fill in those boxes at the bottom. Maybe pause your video and have a go and see if you can get it right. So going down here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, we've got 5 counters. Going across, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 counters. So the two numbers I'm using are 5 multiplied by 6. Now I've got a question for you just before we move on. What would happen if I put the number 6 in this side and the number 5 in that side? Does anybody know? Can you tell a grown-up at home? Would it make a difference if I was to mix those two numbers up? If you said to your grown-up at home, no, it wouldn't, you'd be absolutely right, because it's commutative, so we can swap it around. So we know we can hold up 6 fingers and we can count in steps of 5. Are we ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And there are 30 counters on my board. So for the next part of our lesson, we're going to be looking at counting in groups. So we have got 5 fish bowls here, and in each of the 5 fish bowls, if we write this information down, we've got 5 fish bowls, and in each of the fish bowls we have got 5 fish, because if I count here, we've got a blue one, a red one, a green one, a yellow one and an orange one, which totals 5. So each fish bowl is equal and we've got 5 fish. So let's count in groups of 5 until we arrive at the answer. So we've got 5 fish bowls and there are 5 fish in each one. So we've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So my answer to 5 times 5 is 25. So if I just flick through, we can see the right answers. Well done. So this time we've got 2 frogs on each lily pad. So here's my 2 frogs. And we've got how many lily pads? How many lily pads can you see? I can see 4 lily pads. So our calculation is 2 times 4. And when I count in 2s, so we've got 2, 4, 6, 8. My answer is in fact 8. Okay, now we've got a car park full of cars. So this is showing there are 10 cars in each row, and we need to find out how many cars there are altogether. Now 10 is a really important number here, so our number 10 goes into one of the boxes at the bottom. We just need to now know how many rows we have got. So it's still an array, so we've still got an array, and down here is the number 4. So number 10 is going across the top here. There's my number 10, which means my number 4 needs to go here. So I'm doing 4 times 10. So if I hold up 4 fingers and count in tens, I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, and 40 is my answer. Well done, everybody. Okay, so this time we have got 5 sweets in each sweet bag, so that's an important piece of information. Now this one isn't an array because it isn't set out as an array, it's set out in groups. So there are 5 sweets in each bag. We've got to count in 5s, which makes me think that maybe there are 5 sweets in each bag. Should we have a quick check? So we've got the red one, the green one, the blue one, the green one and the red one. So there are in fact 5 sweets in each bag. So let's count in 5s. Are we ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So I have actually made a little bit of a mistake here. Can anybody spot what my calculation mistake is? What did I do wrong? Now, if you've noticed, I've read it completely wrong because I said there were 5 sweets in each bag. Okay, but I actually meant that that was 5 bags. So in fact, this number 5 here is correct, but this number 5 here is in fact incorrect because this number 5 should be how many bags we have got. And we have in fact got 7 bags. So 5 times 7 is 35. We're just going to check that by holding up my 7 fingers. So we've got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So that's where my mistake has gone in. So apologies, that's where we just need to double check our calculations, don't we? Okay, oh, and we'll pop those ones in, and there we go. So this time we need to read the information. We've got 10 books on our bookshelf. So let's check. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There is in fact 10 books on our bookshelf. How many bookshelves have we got all together? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we've 6 bookshelves all together. So that would mean we're doing 10 multiplied by 6. So here's my 6 fingers. Let's count in steps of 10. So we've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 is my answer. Well done, everybody. 60 is in fact correct. So have a go and see if you can do this one yourself. So you've got to count in twos to find out how many flowers there are all together. So we've got groups of 2 flowers. How many flower pots can you see? If you said 8, then you would be absolutely right. So let's hold up our 8 fingers and count in steps of 2. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Well done, everybody. It is in fact 16. Fantastic. So we're just going to finish with some mixed number calculations. So absolutely awesome work today. You've worked incredibly hard to get to this point. So we're just going to look, because each of these calculations has now got a number that is missing, and we need to work out that number. So the first thing we're going to do is look at the first one, which is 5 times something equals 15. Which means that I need to count in steps of 5 till I get to the number 15 and find out how many fingers I am holding up. So I'm going to start with 0 fingers and I'm going to count in steps of 5. Are we ready? So 5, 10, 15. And I need to stop there because my answer was 15. So what number is missing from my calculation? I've got 3 fingers up, which means that 3 times 5 equals 15. Well done, everybody. So I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to hold up my fingers with nothing on them and count in steps of 6 until I get to 24. Are we ready? 6, 12, 18, 24. How many fingers am I holding up? If you've said 4, then you are absolutely right, because 6 times 4 equals 24. Well done. Excellent. Right, so the next one, the missing number, we've got to count in steps of 2. So again, start with nothing and count in steps of 2. I need both hands for this one. Are we ready? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. How many fingers am I holding up there? And what is my missing number? You said 10. Excellent, well done, because that is the correct answer. So let's do the same again. 0 fingers holding up, and we're going to count in steps of 5. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So my answer is 5 times 5 is 25. Well done, everybody. You're doing super well with this today. I'm really, really impressed with you. Now, I've thrown these last 2 in just to try and confuse you, but I know that you will all be doing amazingly well. So we've got 30 equals something times 10. So we don't know what the something is, and we also know that I've been a little bit cheeky and I have swapped my equal sign over and put it at the beginning of our calculation, which is fine because we know how to do those ones. So I'm going to hold up no fingers again, and I'm going to count in steps of 10 till I get to 30 and then stop. So 10, 20, 30, and I'm going to stop, and my answer is in fact 3. Well done. And the last one of our lesson today, and the last calculation of the week, we are going to do 50 equals 10 times something. So we're going to find out that something. Are we ready? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. If you got the answer as 5, absolutely awesome. You have been amazing today. Massive, massive well done for all your hard work. Finish your calculations online, send it to me. Have an awesome weekend. Well done, everyone.